Hello, my name is Elena Gianci. We chose this topic of mental illness and health because we have all been affected by this issue. Our purpose is to bring awareness to the stigmas present in our society. We are a community and remind each other that we are not alone. Thank you for being here and supporting us.
Hi, I'm Gabby Martin. What does being honest about treatment look like? Well, for some people it could be telling your parents that you've been seeing a therapist for the past 2 years. It could be being open with your therapist in general about what you think would help you the most. It could even mean sitting down with yourself and saying that you need help. Getting mental help is often thought of as a sign of weakness in today's society, when it's actually quite the opposite. Seeking help for your mental illnesses is possibly the hardest and most painful thing a human being can do in their lifetime. It takes a lot out of someone to become that open and vulnerable with another person that they might not even know that well. We need to stop beating ourselves up and making excuses as to why we go to therapy and seek that help. You wouldn't make up an excuse as to why you went to the doctor, right? You would just say, hey, I was hurt, I needed to get it checked out. We should do the same with going to therapy, because if you really think about it, the therapist is the same as a heart and soul doctor. You wouldn't talk down on yourself for having cancer. Nobody else would either, because that can't be controlled. Yet we talk down on ourselves for being depressed. But we can't control that either. We don't choose to be that way. Though society thinks otherwise. And people don't tend to speak openly about that, which makes it harder to get help. It's okay to not be okay. To be mad 1 minute, sad the next, and happy a few minutes later. We have emotions because we're supposed to. We're not meant to be perfect. We're human.
Hi, I'm Lilith Smith, and I'm talking about being conscious of your language. The words, I'm so depressed, I'm so OCD, and other terms are used in everyday conversation as adjectives. I'm so OCD, I have to have my desk organized perfectly. I'm so depressed, my TV show wasn't on last night. The weather's being really bipolar lately. Why can't it just choose? How many times have you said or used one of these before? I'm pretty sure we all have. I have before. But we need to become aware of the stereotypes these are upholding. Using them so constantly and jokingly, it downplays the seriousness. It simplifies something so huge and important and puts it into this little labeled box. Depression isn't just being sad. Obsessive-compulsive disorder isn't just about having things organized or sorted. Bipolar isn't split personalities. I can't tell you how many times I've heard a teenager use the words, I'll kill myself, jokingly, or muttered, just shoot me now. By using these words as jokes and laughing at them, it makes it less of a safe place to talk about and open up about how you're feeling. I've only gone into a few, but there are so many mental illnesses we use lightly. Insomnia, eating disorders, panic attacks, anxiety, addiction, and so many more. We aren't educated on the seriousness of these conditions. We take them lightly, and it's our job to start listening, to stop judging and joking about the things we don't understand. I want you to take from this an awareness of the words you use and learn to replace those adjectives with new ones. Thank you.
topic is don't harbor self-stigma. Self-stigma is interesting. Contrary to stigma from other people, self-stigma comes from inside of you, your own negative inner voice. When self-stigma appears, it comes from your doubts and fears, your worries and embarrassment. The self-stigma may be loud, noisy, you never want to shut up, but you can't let it continue to affect you in a negative way. Even when you know this, a stigmatizing inner voice can be hard to quiet. However, there are things you can do to get that annoying voice to integrate into your life in a positive way. Some of these include writing down good things about yourself, or think about memories that bring you joy when that voice starts to swell up. And if that voice becomes too much for you to handle on your own, there are others you can talk to. Talk to friends, family, go see someone like a therapist. Hell, you can even come to church. I mean, we're all here anyways. Trust me, it's better to see someone about things like this, rather than hold it in until it explodes at the top of a volcano. It won't hurt if you see someone every now and again. Speaking from personal experience. Now, I'm not here to give you a definite answer. I'm not here to give you the solutions. I'm simply informing you on what you can possibly do to help yourself. It's up to you to make these decisions. And whether you decide to work through it yourself or ask for help, there are people out there willing to help you. Thank you. Rosie.
Hi, I'm Kylie Hurd, and I'm going to talk about turning shame into empowerment. It's very easy to dig yourself down into a deep hole. In our society, we are constantly surrounded by loud voices calling us names and discriminating against us. You need to be your biggest supporter. You have to pick yourself up and brush yourself off, however challenging it may be. You deserve love and support, and that society may not be able to give it to you, but you can always find it within yourself. Val Fletcher eloquently stated, "I fight stigma by choosing to live an empowered life." To me, that means owning my life and my story and refusing to allow others to dictate how I view myself or how I feel about myself. This quote. You can choose to empower rather than shame yourself for things out of your control. And by doing so, you're stopping the cycle of stigmas from repeating itself. Recently, a friend of mine who has been struggling with anxiety found the bravery to empower herself. She felt safe enough to let me know her struggle with anxiety, and I was able to assist her in finding more help. If you let these feelings control you internally, you'll choose to close yourself off. You'll close yourself off from the world around you, making it difficult to find support from others. The stigma and shame that may surround you can make it almost unattainable to find joy, happiness, and new ways to cope. But you can break down that wall. Finding empowerment, which can just be mustering the courage to reach out for help, may sound overwhelming at first, but you have the strength to choose empowerment over shame. And now I invite you into a communion of silence to reflect upon the powerful ideas that have just been shared.